have to be less rotating almost all the time. Yeah, you're 100% correct on that.
Yeah, I mean, you have these amazing gap closers. You have the huge cast range Stroke of Fate, as well being able to rolling boulder into people with Phantom's Embrace. And that extra rolling boulder distance on Earth Spirit, that plus 400 that he has now in his level 10 talent, makes it even easier for him to close gap from far away.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised that did get moved to the 10 talent. I guess the pub players will go for 65 damage, but 400 rolling, that's actually a lot.
Well, it is a lot. I mean,
I've seen it before.
If he's playing mid, he might go the damage, but again, that is just a crazy gap closing ability.
Mm-hmm. And like we were talking about, it's gonna have to be a lot of less rotating around with probably the wombo combos. So we'll probably see him go for the rolling boulder so we can actually get like return rotations out when the Leshrac starts rotating around lanes.
Yeah. So immediately they take the shrine here on the side of the Dire. Not really a big deal. Just eventually you're going to have to go back and grab that on Team Spirit. Take a little bit of time walking out of the way, spending 6 seconds channeling there. But they have a little bit more strength and they have a little bit more strength on Chicken Fighters right now. Slark does have Essence Shift. It's a really good fighting level 1 ability, but when you're up against like Shadow Demon, Winter Wyvern, and Pangolier, you're kind of susceptible to be killed.
Looks like he's held on to the level for now.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just get.
But I imagine that's what you go for. So.
Well, you got.
Oh, he went for pounce. Maybe he thought he was going to be in trouble here, but they might actually be. Misha's getting pretty darn low down here. He's got 4 stacks, but he does have a headdress and an active tango, so he's got that 11.7 regen, and I'm sure he'll get away from this, but it looks like Draco actually might be in a bit of trouble here. Instead, body blocks going out. They do not manage to get the 3rd stack, though, and it looks like Era getting moderately low mana here, but going to have to disengage for the time being. They're not going to get this one, but they forced a lot of HP being drained off here, but Shadow Demon... Oh, it only costs 35 mana now, so it's actually not even the worst, but that's the point of having a Shadow Demon or something like a Skywrath of that same equivalent. Just throw spells, die in the tower, restart.
It scales upwards, but he does have a Basilius, so he's going to regen his mana a lot faster. Forcing Slark to get the pounce at level 1 makes things a little bit easier for the Pangolier. He's almost got level 2, though, because the wave was pushed pretty far into the tower. Not going to make a whole lot of difference once he has that Essence Shift. Yeah, he's going to be able to trade pretty happily with this Pangolier now.
Oh, God. He's losing so much, actually, with that.
Oh.
It's insane. Doesn't have great base strength, too, so he's just, like, Saberlight not very happy with just trading right clicks. You're basically preying on landing a lucky shot over continuously always getting an Essence Shift proc.
Yep, and that's exactly what he got at level 2 rather than getting the... Shield Crash. So being able to get those lucky shots off with the Swashbuckle and then trade a couple right clicks, not let the Slark build up his essence stack, that's how he's going to win these trades.
So going over to our mid, we're not actually seeing really too much hard action going on. We already see one Bracer being constructed, and looks like maybe a Wand will be coming out here because, you know, you're playing against a Leshrac. He's going to spam abilities. In fact, clicking on the Leshrac, he has yet to spec any other spells yet. He wants to figure out how aggressively he can play this lane first before he does anything.
Yeah, how aggressively he can play this lane, how aggressive this Earth Spirit is going to play. Because again, you can punish him going on you with Rolling Boulder if you put multiple points into Diabolic Edict. Suddenly it becomes very hard for him to get away. Like, that's his stun initiate ability and also his escape, so he has to be a little bit careful.
Oh. Looks like Slark's Courier ended up getting clipped over here. Shadow Demon. I don't think there was too much in that Courier, though. I think it was just some regen, maybe a Wraith Band.
Losing a Wraith Band right now really sucks. Courier comes all the way out. It's a nice pick off.
There's actually another Courier coming. It has a base wand in it. If Era can see it in time, or Saber maybe, he might be able to clip it, but looks like he's actually pushing the Courier back just in case, too.
Yeah, they're being careful with that one. Alright, let's look over to the top lane. Looks like Underlight's been doing a decent job of slowing down this Terrorblade's farm. Like, you want to be free farming on this Terrorblade. Getting zoned out of the lane like this feels really bad. He's got the Ring of Tarask at the start, which I kind of like how players have started doing this. And of course, Valve with the response to it instantly increases the price to $650, so you can't buy it as your only item right away.
Yeah, I actually saw that a day ago when well, I mean, I saw it when they made the patch, but I played an off lane and I'm like, I'll just buy a Ring of Tarrasque. It's probably how I'm going to win the lane. And it didn't happen. Stun up in the top lane, though. Back on Charlie. He's getting pretty low. They're going to be able to find this first blood. It's burning away.
Yeah, Rigum Taras doesn't manage to save him, so you got to be really careful. Once this extra damage starts going the way of Underlord, it's very easy for him to zone you out of the lane. He's got multiple points into Conjure Image, 1 point in Metamorphosis. Like, he's just going to get out damaged. He's not going to be able to get a last hit against his Terrorblade. He's got like the plus 45 for a little while due to getting that hero kill.
It looks like... Well, I thought there was going to be a kill on Saberlight in the bottom here, but he was able to... Well, actually, he didn't really get disengaged. He got hit with Blinding Light. He has a salve, though. He'll reset it, but it looks like we might see a... Well, I thought there was going to be an engagement in the mid, but... They'll hold it off for the time being.
Both these heroes are pretty good at disengaging. Again, Leshrac with is it almost 30 or almost 40 movement speed more than this Earth Spirit, and Earth Spirit with the Rolling Boulder and Boulder Smash.
Back and bottom.
Away from him.
You see a Banish go out immediately on Draco, but it looks like Saberlight, they still kind of want to go for it. Nah, they're not going to keep going. It's the power of Blinding Light. Ooh. Oh, it does break the salve, though. That's pretty good. They throw out the tip.
You love to see it. So tip comes out. Slark's going to be forced to stay pretty far back for a little while. Well, he's got 7 wand charges. If Saberlight gets a little bit too cocky, he can get punished for it.
Well, there is also a courier coming in for Misha as well, so he'll be able to salve up Draco when needed.
Actually, you could die here on Draco. Oh!
Ooh.
You see that Swashbuckle got interrupted with the Blinding Light. That was insane. He did have the Javelin up on the Pangolier, so Slark might have died there if that Blinding Light wasn't so perfect.
It was literally frame perfect, too. I think 1 more second, he probably would have gotten it off.
Yeah, that was... I don't think that was intentional, the cast point of ability and all that. Mid lane?
Mid. We do see that Supreme's getting pretty low here. This is the first rotation coming in by Immersion, and they'll find this kill easy pickings.
Yep. I mean, you have so much...
That's what they need. They want these kills early.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing the faster lineup right now. You don't want this Terrorblade to come online. You don't want them to be able to get all this extra money on him. Like, this hero is going to outfarm Slark easily, especially with his Conjure Image build that he's going. He's maxing this one out first. But this is what I was talking about with the Earth Spirit. He's so bulky that even here with the amount of magical damage that Leshrac has, I mean, you have a Bracer, you have, 4.4 strength growth rate per level on Earth Spirit. We're like 6 minutes in the game and he's sitting on 1300 HP.
Yeah, he's a pretty beefy boy. It's definitely scary. And he doesn't have a second Bracer yet. He's gonna go for the stab boots probably. So yeah, he's... I'm not... I guess I'm not really a big believer, but you know what? Their Spirit. It's nice, I guess. It's just... I don't know, man. He can't deal damage to towers.
Yeah, he can't deal damage to towers. The beauty of picks like this is just the flexibility of them, though. The fact that you're playing a support/mid, you're not revealing what you're doing with the draft, and it leaves your options open as you go forward. So I really love things like this. He's got the Invis rune, but I think his HP is just a little bit too low. Mana's a little bit too low to be able to really go on to this Leshrac. Top lane.
Up and top. They find the root on Charlie. They're going to get the Spirit Pop as well. That's a big stun, but they don't want to dive him. They're all super slow at the moment, but Underlord has the bonus 52 damage, and Terrorblade just got to make sure he doesn't walk outside here.
So smart there by the Underlord. Neither him nor the Terrorblade have boots, so again, you got an extra like 30 movement speed on the Terrorblade. Not gonna be able to chase him down.
So it looks... All right, well, we're at 7.5 minutes. And the CS is actually fairly even, basically, along all the core lines, excluding Terrorblade, who's about, looks like now 8 to 9, about 10 total CS actually underneath the Slark. So that's probably the only overhead advantage so far. There's also been 2 kills, though, on the side of Team Spirit. So Spirit's definitely leading in that market so far. They did get the rotation, too.
A lot of these were kills that happened at the very, very start of the game, and I'd argue like first blood, first 2 or 3 kills, as long as you're like level 1, don't really matter. You get a decent amount of gold, but XP doesn't really change at that
Oh,
point.
up and top. Underlord's going to be in a bit of trouble. The first Pango roll does come through. It lands a lot of damage, actually. But Old A, he's actually got a Hooded Defiance, so he's not going to take too much damage from this roll, but he's under the tower. He does manage to get hit with the swash, and they will find the kill. Misha not able to save him this time.
Yeah. So no blinding, no perfect blinding like that time. You do go down on the Underlord, and that really sucks. Again, you want to be taking advantage of how bulky you are at the moment. You are still
Here's the
continuing
thing
to
with
shut down
that,
the
though.
Terrorblade.
Yeah, you are shutting down the Terrorblade, but here's the other thing is that the Slark was actually farming this whole entire time. So even with losing the Underlord, there's no heroes in his lane. He can openly attack the creep wave, though he's probably been always able to attack the creep wave. I don't think he's ever once been contested at this creep wave.
No. The only
In the
issue
whole
with
entire
this
lane.
is if Chicken Fighters is close to drawing even, they'll eventually win. Because again, Terrorblade is going to outfarm the Slark, and Leshrac is going to outfarm the Earth Spirit if they're not constantly fighting. Just by nature of the heroes, they farm much faster. So Earth Spirit needs to be constantly looking for those kills and fighting. Meanwhile, Leshrac has all the time in the world. Just sit back in the jungle, have his teammates. Oh, speaking of mid.
Speaking of his teammates, though, yeah, we do end up seeing Immersion just getting slam dunked there. They're pinging out there might be a ward on the hill, but there isn't anything there.
Yeah.
Be disappointed when he doesn't find that later.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was talking about just a minute ago, though, is Leshrac has a much more relaxed game than this Earth Spirit. If they're not constantly running at him, he's very happy to just be clearing creep camps in the jungle and creep waves. And here we are.
Roll goes out. They find the immediate jump on Supreme. They can't quite get the jump physically, though, and Supreme is going to bring them all pretty low here. In fact, he's going to be able to walk out of this one. Not entirely, though. Gets picked off in the last second. Pango roll comes in. He does manage to find Draco. They're trying to go for more here, but misses the swash by literally an inch, but they're going to go back up to this Earth Spirit here. He's pretty low. Does manage to find the roll out. Starts the TP. He's out of there. They trade 1 for 1, but you don't really want to be trading your most farmed hero against this Leshrac.
No. I mean, bringing down Leshrac so he's not farming the jungle and making sure that he's constantly shut down is good, but not at the expense of your Slark. And again, Terrorblade continues to farm this triangle up here. You need to be running at him, and this Leshrac is stopping him from coming online while your Slark farms at the moment. And that's not happening right now.
Yeah, the one thing I like to talk about in a Terrorblade game, all right? I've casted so many Terrorblade games, I've literally come up with a thing for it. But I'm sure everyone else calls it the exact same thing, and I just call it the Terrorblade effect. And then you can do it on multiple heroes, too. You can run it on Anti-Mage. Hang on, actually, down in bottom Immersion. Might be in a bit of trouble here. They land a stun, and they're not going to get jumped off by the stun that comes out from the Inkswell. They do have the rest of the team here, and they do manage to push him back under the tower, but not into the spot that they really needed there. But it looks like Saberlight, he's not done. They drop in. Charlie jumps in as well, pops his Metamorphosis. They get the kill on Old A, and this is probably dead tower. They want to get Misha. They find the jump. They swatch him down. He's dead, too. They do trade 3 heroes and a free tower with this bad boy.
And with this happening, you're just forced to run away on the Earth Spirit. You're not getting anything close to what you just got on Chicken Fighters for Terrorblade off on the Slark. He's running around the jungle, not doing anything at the moment. He doesn't push towers nearly as fast as the Terrorblade, nor does he farm. So just like that, you see them on the back foot.
God, it's actually so insane how much early damage we already have into this game. Of course, we can't see the damage graph already, but I'm sure if we saw it, we could see that there's so much damage coming out from Chicken Fighters already. And it felt like it was a little bit of a team spirit game. It felt like they had a little bit of a stronger draft because, you know, you kind of like having that Slark. It's real good against the Terrorblade, but I think that Leshrac, just like you were saying, it's a perfect pick to diffuse this whole entire situation.
Yeah, it does so well against the Slark. You had an okay time dealing with it in the mid lane with the Earth Spirit, but it's going to outfarm you. It's going to become a more impactful core. Earth Spirit's just so much slower moving around the map and farming than the Leshrac is. And his damage output in team fights is a lot lower. Yeah, he's a great frontliner, but he becomes a suicide initiator. If he's not just constantly running at the enemies and shutting people down, he's going to end up behind the Leshrac as the game goes on.
Do see that Chicken Fighters, they line up a smoke. They did see that the Slark was in the lane for a little while. They are pinging up the high ground here. They're going to walk in. They do find him. They drop their Winter's Curse immediately. They're gonna go ahead and start stacking up these stacks here. They know they don't have the Purge, though, and it looks like Draco does manage to pop his ultimate, pops this Purge as well, but it's not going to save him. He will go down. And it looks like they want to try to make at least some return on this one, and they will at least get Era, or will they? Version goes out. There is another roll available though, and they will find the stun. They get this kill. In fact, I think he went for the 65 damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, you're playing the core. You have a lack of damage. The gap closed just isn't as important at that point. So again, I was saying at the start, once he's level 10, he'll probably end up going the damage talent, just because without that, his team isn't doing enough. He's got treads as well, so it makes sense. They did a pretty good job of just diffusing that and getting out after grabbing that Slark. Playing really well coordinated on Chicken Fighters right now. You don't care a great deal if you kill the Slark. Team Spirit rotates in multiple heroes, and all they manage to get in return is the Shadow Demon. I'd say you're pretty happy about that.
It looks like, though, Team Spirit, they do want more. They're smoked up down here in the bot. They wanted to try to find this Terrorblade, but they're not going to find him, and they're not even going to get the Courier. They do manage to throw a ward down, and they see the ward thanks to the sentry, so they know there's heroes here. Immediately dropping the Purge out onto the Keeper, and it looks like they're not going to get the skill. In fact, they want to try to make the fight instead. They do manage to drop the Banishment just in time on Urgon, though he does have his roll right now, actually. He just needs to find it, but leashed up as well. They find the Sunder. The Winter's Curse goes through. They're trying to outright click, but that fire is burning away. Lestrak doing so much damage. Keeper Wave goes through, but it does nothing. Pango roll comes in as well. They manage to find one more. They want to find more, but they can't quite lock it down. The Slark's up in the top lane, and the Keeper is back in the mid. But they got 3 kills off of an engagement the Team Spirit wanted to make.
Yeah, they just reacted so fast on Chicken Fighters. And that Earth Spear in the middle of the fight didn't manage to get the geomatic grip off onto all those magnetized targets. So, Terrorblade getting that Sunder off when he was very low HP, and they just didn't have enough damage to bring him down a second time. So down they went. And if you're losing fights like this, the things just become so much worse. Again, you don't have the farming capabilities to get back into this game like Chicken Fighters might. You need to keep fighting, but you're fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, Spirit. They want to try to defend this mid tower. It's actually a very important tower as well, so it's a very good reason for them to try to hold this. But yeah, I wanted a Spirit mid to win. All right, not to win. All right, I wanted him to have a good lane. All right, because I wanted to be proven wrong. But it just doesn't feel like he's doing anything. Yeah, like you were saying, he's a good frontliner. He's great, but like, there's so many other mids.
I don't think it was a bad mid. They just weren't able to play fast enough and get ahead and keep running at Chicken Fighters. You have decent save in the form of Shadow Demon and Winter Wyvern. These are both great disengage tools and save tools. Cold Embrace, Winter's Curse. He gets out of here. He's no danger. He's Earth Spirit. 2100 HP. But the guy, he just farms so much slower than other mids. He's not going to have that same damage impact. And if Slark's not having the game of his life, if Terrorblade's able to keep up with him at all, then your draft just isn't going to work.
Terrorblade effect. I'm ready to see it. He's going to emerge out of the jungle with Satanic, S&Y, Daedalus. People still buy Chrysalis anyway. Nerf the damage. It's not going to change anything. Everyone's buying Chrysalis. I say that as nobody in this game has Chrysalis.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody was buying that item unless it was to upgrade it, so they buffed it again and again, and everyone was buying it. I think that happens a lot in Dota.
I miss it. Supreme is diffused up in the mid here. They do find the roll out onto the Shadow Demon with the following silence. The sleep is there, but they do have a little bit of damage negation with the pipe, but the Keeper Wave comes through, does a lot of damage, but they find the kill on the Earth Spirit. They can't reload out, and he cancels it, actually. They could get the kill. They drop the Winter's Curse as a reaction to this Saberlight. Wants to find a disarm or at least something. Still will get silenced, trying to click away on this silence, but they do find the jump. They immediately go for the kill. That's Immersion going down. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, they're trying to go for more. They ended up getting Trico. Old Age trying to disengage here, but I don't think you're going to be able to. Saberlight comes in, doesn't have roll. They throw out a Clumsy Net, but you know, Clumsy Net roots you too.
Clumsy Net does root you, and during that fight, that was like best case scenario as it started. You had the Pangolier linked to somebody. He was in his ultimate. He was just sort of sitting there the entire duration, and I still lost that team fight again. Terrorblade managed to get that Sunder off onto the Slark, and fight just turned around. It didn't even matter that he was sitting on the backline killing anyone. They're responding to these fights too well on Chicken Fighters. It just feels like every team fight they're outplaying them. Or they just responded to it too well. You're playing super aggressive right now on Team Spirit. It gets punished every single time.
It just feels so weird and weak at the same time. It's terrible, dude.
It,
And like you were saying, like they have so much that they could do with it. It's a great game of Dota.
it I feel like it either works really well or it doesn't. Like you're able to roll in, you're able to take these fights after fight after fight, stop the enemy from farming, and then if it doesn't work, you're playing over aggressive and you're farming super slow, and that's what happened this game.
Yeah, and you're saying that on the side of Team Spirit though, right? Because it's
Hmm.
the way that I see it. All right, other than the fact that it is like a mirror spirit, and I was very happy to see it, but proven wrong that it's not good. Um, there's only when I look at the draft, I see now that there's really only one damage dealing hero on the side of Team Spirit because every other bit of damage is purely situational based on what's happening around it. Because Underlord needs to get damage just from killing creeps and then killing heroes to get the stack damage. And Stark's kind of the same way. He gets the one agility stack every kill he gets, but I mean that one agi is not really the biggest thing, but Slark is the main source of actual damage that comes out of this one, except for like maybe Earth Spirit Boulder Smash Geo combo, but like
His kit actually
it
doesn't
feels
do
like
that
he's not
much.
doing damage. Yeah.
It does that huge damage over time, but you have these saves and these heals. You need that burst damage. You don't have it. If Slark's not getting out of the back line and bursting and stopping heroes from getting these saves off, then then you lose, and that's it. You don't have enough to, like instant damage on the Underlord. You don't have enough instant damage on the Earth Spirit, and you do have these saves on Chicken Fighters. Again, I was talking about what great picks these Winter Wyvern, Pango, and Deleshrak were to counter out the Slark, and that's where the majority of their damage is coming from. The only reason I was skeptical about why this Earth Spirit was being played mid is because they were going to have a serious damage problem if he was mid. You have great damage over time, you have great initiation, he's a great frontliner, but you don't have that burst, and compared to other mids, he's really lacking DPS.
So I'm sure that in the next game, when we get to the next game, because this game could still go, it's not like Team Spirit can't come back. It's only actually a 6K net worth deficit
Mm-hmm.
on the opposing side. So it's still very comebackable at the moment, but
Comebackable.
looks very hard. Okay, I mean, you want to correct me on grammar at 2 a.m. in the morning, sir?
um, what you're saying is just pretty correctable, that's all. So, anyways, Terraflade's internet looks like it's been down for a little while. It's pretty high traffic lately, given the fact that we live in Corona times. Um,
Yeah, there
could be a
is
network issue.
literally everybody on the internet all at once. I saw that article that that the internet was going to crash or something like that, and I'm like, there's no way the internet is going to crash. It's you would literally need every single person in the world on Netflix at the same time in order for it to
I'm
crash.
not sure that's true, but it would take a lot.
Yeah, well, so if every single person in the world was on Netflix, that would do it.
It's more complicated than that. Come on.
I mean, I know it's more complicated than that. But if every single person in the world was on Netflix, I'm sure there'd be some problems. Anyway, we're back into the game. Underlord going down. I mean, we had a long period of time to talk about that fact, but
I don't feel like we didn't even touch on it though. Underlord's dead though.
well, I
His
mean, we saw it. The screen was paused literally at it, and we had to zoom in on him the whole entire time.
mhm. So that fight, about a 3,200 net EXP swing, almost 2,000 net worth swing for the side of Chicken Fighters with that fight as well. And of course, they're going to be farming super nicely with all these Team Spirit heroes off the map. Map control they have as well. You don't have a single tower taken on Team Spirit, and that's something you touched base on earlier. Even though they have this very aggressive run at you lineup, they don't have a whole lot of tower damage. This Underlord needs to be sort of sitting in front, soaking things up, and hitting buildings with his team playing behind him, but they don't have that instant burst like I was talking about to be able to punish going on the Underlord. So again, things getting harder and harder as this goes on. And any time that we see like this downtime where both teams are farming, Chicken Fight is going to come out ahead.
They have better map control because of that too. Like Chicken Fighters taking it everything with them, like you were saying. There's no map control they could really take with Team Spirit. The tower damage you are gonna get maybe just be from Underlord dropping atrophy aura kills on creep waves and just trying to push it into the creeps, but or into the towers. But I don't see it happening.
Mhm.
There is no tower push. There's no Beastmaster. Like, you know, Beastmaster was in the pool. Like, Beastmaster has been picked up in pubs, like, extremely high. He's one of the best offlaners I've seen right now. And he was in the pool.
Underlord is pretty good against a Terrorblade, though. He's doing his job. I feel like maybe he could have maxed out a Trophy Aura, but you wanted that magical damage and extra burst as well. It does stop him from last hitting, holding on to that damage for longer, so you can deny and last hit creeps yourself, and reduce the damage with that percentage on a hero like
Paragon.
Terrorblade.
Up in the top, lifted up. The stun follows suit. The disarm with the follow-up roll, as well as the meta from Charlie. They get this easy pick and kill, and they're gonna get this last tier 1 tower. They might trade the tier 1 in the mid, but no, they're not. They want to get this kill. They smoked up for it too. There's no ward on the high ground because they put a sentry up there to make sure. No, they're actually gonna go into this Roche, and there's nothing they can do about this.
Yeah. Looks like they spotted out the smoke. Slark ended up getting back. I think at this point they realized, okay, they stopped running at the Slark. They're doing Roshan. We need to get here and stop this. But you aren't able to take a fight in the Roche pit. Not against Leshrac, not against Winter Wyvern. You just sort of have to let them have it.
Well, looks like Seneko will end up dropping the Winter's Curse on the sidelines, which does leave a little bit of an opening for the Ignis, but it's not going to matter. The Keeper Wave goes through. They aren't going to steal the kill. They get the drop on Seneko, though. But, I mean, they dropped the Winter's Curse. They got what they needed. Saberlight needs to try to escape. Try not to connect to any players, too, to get the double root onto that one. But that's just it. Team Spirit, they're trying to find anybody here, but they're literally not going to. Everyone's gone. You got the Winter. That's great, but that's the only support they could really kill in this. Shadow Demon has great escape. And
yeah, with that,
it's just not enough. Like, I don't... It's a hard game for them to make that comeback. And they want these kills. They want that kill, but now the Roche is dead. Terrorblade's back to farming in the jungle. He's almost got his BKB. And once this BKB is up and online, I think that's GG.
Yeah, BKB, Metamorphosis, once he has those two things, it's going to be time to push high ground. Especially, well, he'll probably have Ignis back up by the time they are at those tier 3s. But there's not a lot of tools in your kit you can use to fight them there. And again, you had a small window to take a fight once that Metamorphosis was down.
Top, we do see Saberlight trying to get this jump here. They will find the immediate follow suit with this, and they get the follow stun. And Chicken Fighters, they're not done yet. They want Misha. They didn't land the slow. Saberlight's not really afraid of that. He's got another swash in 2 seconds here, but there is no blinding light. So it looks like he might go down here. Just needs a proc. Yeah, he gets it.
And when the Javelin procs, it goes through evasion, so Blinding Light did not help him at all there. And yeah, that's another thing that makes it very hard to play Slark in a game like this. The fact that Chicken Fighters has kept all of their towers up. Anybody can be farming a lane instantly. Everyone on Chicken Fighters can react to it and punish. And that's what they've been doing.
Oh. You see it already. It's 22 minutes in, 10k net worth lead. Chicken Fighters, they're going to take this tier 2. They've got the Aegis online. The BKB is ready to go for this Terrorblade. And he's going to go straight for the Daedalus next. They have Meta. They don't have Manta, but they don't really need it. They have Shadow Demon, so they definitely don't need Manta, actually. But it looks like they're going to disengage for now. They want to hold their tier 1 towers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, holding on to control of the map. You don't have the best high ground defense. It's not awful, though. I mean, being able to spam out that Firestorm, having Blinding Light and Will-O-Wisp to fall back on, you're in an okay place. And again, you're not really in any rush to end this game when you have Terrorblade on your team and you have the enemy team stuck inside their base. You're going to out-farm them. So playing a little bit safe on Chicken Fighters. I do think that they had a decent shot at high ground there, but no harm in farming a little bit more. Maybe get those tier 3 items at 25 minutes while locking the enemies into the base and have that advantage over the enemy team.
I'm trying to find out what items they might have been waiting for. Maybe the Terrorblade wanted to get the Chrysalis up first, at least, because he does have that coming in. But it could be that they also might want to wait for, like you were saying, either the tier 3 items, maybe to get another tier 2 tower or 2. But there is a BKB that's next up for the Lesh, so I imagine we're going to see something along those lines. But we do see Charlie already clicking down at this bot tower. He's currently, at least it looks like he's alone. Spirit do take the top tower in the meantime, though, but I don't think there's going to be much else. They can't take a trade for the tower.
Yeah. So with the tier 2 already gone there, they don't care a great deal about losing that part of the map, especially when they're ready to start running to high ground, taking this game.
And they've got meta. They've got the Chrysalis as well. So if Charlie wants to hit people from a far distance away, he can. But they are going to start losing another tower here, and it looks like they're going to put some unnecessary aggression on this top tower here. Draco trying to clean up the creep. Looks like they canceled the TP, though. Yeah, they did. Supreme does get caught by it, though. They do manage to find the Yules on Old A, but they're going to re-engage. They do have the Force Staff available, but will they be able to catch him off is the question. No, they're not going to. They do have... It's annoying that they popped meta, though, because now he has, like, his best ability on cooldown. He's going to start TPing, looks like, to these outposts.
Yeah, see if they can catch out this pesky Slark. Leshrak's probably the one you want to send against him. They do catch him with Shadow Demon, though. All right. They're not going to be able to
not
get him.
quite.
Oh!
Oh, inches away.
So
looks like
close.
Ergon actually goes for a courier kill on Saberlight too, but so that was very, very close.
Yeah, that would have been a big kill right there. But that's them staying in the game, making plays like that, taking advantage of that Slark being hard to catch. You had the counterplay for it right there, but you didn't quite get him with the Pangolier. So, well played there.
A lot of spicy tier 3 items coming up here. We got the Titan Sliver, Spider Legs on the Slark. We got the Orb of Destruction on the Pango. I want to think you leave that either on Pango or you give it to the Terrorblade, but I want to think he keeps the Sliver.
Yeah, Terrorblade probably keeps the Sliver. Oh. Slark's probably going to be able to get out of here pretty easily. He's got the Spider Legs.
Yeah, he's got them Legos.
Yeah.
Spider Legs.
Can't catch the Slark, especially when he's Spider Boy, so he gets out of there. You probably keep the Titan Sliver on the Terrorblade. Again, the damage percentage scales pretty nicely with the Metamorphosis, and the magic damage is something that's hindering him being able to break out into the base at the moment. That Stroke of Fate, Illuminate coming out onto him, like, blew up half his HP last time he tried to break high ground, so Titan Sliver help a little bit with that. The status resistance that I think Titan Sliver is amazing for isn't really going to make a whole lot of difference in a game like this, though.
Well, he picks up Greater Fairy Fire too. Looks like he's going to send that back. I thought he'd at least keep it for the heal.
No. I mean, you want to hold on to this Titan Sliver. The magic resistance and base attack damage scales very well with Metamorphosis. So it makes sense to hold on to that.
Era does manage to find the Banishment. You can't curse that away, but it looks like he's going to at least get healed up, which means he's going to lose a lot of Essence Shift here. But they do manage to find the Winner's Curse on this fresh BKB Slark. They pop the R as well. Draco will start the TP, and he finds the crits. They're going to get him.
Ooh, that is a lot of damage.
Smoke too.
I mean, that's perfect use of Winner's Curse. Using it on the BKB Slark makes a lot of sense to me. You can't dispel it, not a whole lot you're able to do. And if this game goes on, as these BKB charges go down and lower, this BKB becomes useless if they just hold on to this Winter's Curse. 5.5 second duration on it. That's something that I love using it for. Just pop it on somebody who goes magic immune, wait for it to end. Win the fight.
I mean, that's what you do. It's either that or it's like your Beastmaster, you pop Roar on BKB target, or it's, in this scenario, it's Pangolier even. It's great against Pango. But, you know, Pango's on their team, so... That might have been the other thing. Maybe they were picking the Winter Wyvern to deny it, so they could go for the Pango in a comfort way.
Yeah, it could be.
Because Winter's a really good hero right now, too.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid early pick as well. It doesn't reveal a whole lot with what you want to do with your draft. You have a lot of tools in your kit. You have the nuke, Demon Harass in this lane with Arctic Burn. Save is good against a lot of heroes in Cold Embrace, and Winter's Curse is just so good for resetting fights. The buff to it felt really nice as well. It becomes a lot easier to nuke people down. It's really neat.
Obviously, the only big issue would be just healing your allies getting clicked on by Slark, but Slark is the only one that feels like he's actively doing damage, so they have really nothing else to fear with just popping not Winter's Curse, Cold Embrace.
On whoever the Slark's starting, yeah. You don't have that burst magic damage on your team, so whatever's on you, if it's not the Slark, then you're just going to out-heal them with that Cold Embrace.
Draco lost like 30, a good not 30%. Actually, no. I'd say it's about he lost a good 30% of his HP to just a TB illusion.
Yeah. It's just.
He is a very weak boy in comparison to our big TB boy here.
Mhm.
It's 31, no, not 31. 33 armor.
Look at this tower melt. Tier 3's down, things become very dangerous all of a sudden.
Charlie wants to get in there. He wants to wait until meta, though. He's going to start popping the illusions. He just doesn't want it to get killed by this jump here. Charlie does manage to find a diffusely emailed Slark, though. This man's to push out, though, and Supreme just not scared of this. He just walks in here. He's got an arcane rune and everything. He's just happy. They do have a Terrorblade stolen illusion here. Where did this come from? Is this a Grimstroke Ags? This is Grimstroke Ags.
This is Grimstroke Eggs. I don't know where he got the money for that. Probably did something illegal. But, wait, I wasn't even aware that this hero... I'm aware a bunch of heroes got eggs. I wasn't aware that what it was, though.
It's a very interesting spell, but speaking of interesting spells, we see that Ergon not able to use his interesting spells to escape that one. And it looks like they're going to walk straight out of mid, go straight to this Roshan pit, or at least maybe try to pressure this mid, but they could go straight for this pit. It was a fast Roshan too, so
yeah,
maybe they'll get it, maybe they won't.
Yeah, I think you want to... You probably want the Aegis on the Terrorblade and the Cheese on the Leshrac, and then the Grimstroke Eggs becomes kind of useless. If you can use it to kill somebody on the back line, like get that spell immune Terrorblade and his ultimate, then very quickly blow up the Shadow Demon when like the Winter Wyvern's not paying attention, then it could be great. But it feels kind of desperate.
I just don't really see too much that Team Spirit will be able to do. Like, what do you think needs to exactly happen? Like, do you think, because there's no damage that comes from the Earth Spirit. I don't think you can get any other items that increase his damage either. We can see the closest thing he has is a Spirit Vessel. He's going for Shivas, which doesn't increase his damage. It's just another defensive item. And I don't think another defensive item is going to really help you too much against the Terrorblade, especially since he's pretty far away from getting that. And we have a Butterfly now on this TV.
I believe the burden of winning this game falls into like chicken fighters making mistakes and Slark getting a bunch of stacks of agility at like the end of the game and just snowballing to a win. That's the only way I see Team Spirit coming out ahead this match. Again, just like throws being caught out of position, just one after another, and suddenly like 45 essence shift stacks onto the Slark, and then he becomes able to fight the enemy team. Prior to that,
so what you're saying is you don't see a way.
I don't see a way unless Chicken Fighters starts playing very differently than they've been playing all game and lets their teammates die like one by one without punish onto the Slark. I don't see them winning.
Well, it looks like all Chicken Fighters, they might have been getting caught out there. They do ping out that there's a ward up on the hill. But it looks like smoke goes out immediately. Looks like a defensive smoke, actually, because Chicken Fighters are going to stay outside the pit. Supreme's just going to cast spells, but it looks like they want to try to defend this pit here. They throw an Observer down. There was a sentry that saw it. Old A is going to throw down his spells, and he's going to get literally nothing with this bad boy. Cheese on the TB. A just picked up on Supreme. They want to find somebody. They find the slow on Old A. He cancels the ult, though. This is where the Force Staff comes out by... No, they're not going to get him. They do find the Disruption, though, but it's just real far in there. But it looks like they want to go for the Force Staff. Not going to do it. Yep. They do drop BKB immediately, though, on Draco. It looks like we do have the Bloodstone being popped out immediately. Yule's up, though. The Leshrac trying to heal his way out of there, but he's not going to get it. Gets hit with a crit there, but... an Imp Claw. No, there was just normal crit there from the TB illusion, but TB just going to work. He's got the big PKB, big scary boy. This tower is being chonked down. The buyback from Immersion not going to change anything. There is fortification being expended. Draco trying to at least exchange team fight kill here, but Charlie Force Staff now to the low ground. They're going to go right back at it again. Blinding Light's not going to change anything here. He has the cheese. He's even got the sliver, so he's not scared about anything here, and I think they just try to end the game.
Yep, healing him up a little bit with the Cold Embrace. You have a couple of stacks right now on the Slark of that Essence Shift, but you're still holding on to Winter's Curse. They have that save if they need it. I'm not sure you're going to be able to take it.
It looks like they want to try to at least disengage a little bit here. They don't want to push it too hard. They did end up getting Slark to come back out here to try and maybe counteract another team fight here. They do see there's a gem on the Slark here. Winter Wyvern, though, they do find Old A at half HP. They're cleaning up this tower, all the racks. They find the swatch immediately. They get the stun as well. The buybacks go out. They do drop the Winter's Curse. That's the defensive curse here. They want to try to get the kill on Ergon because he's actually BKB'd for this whole entire thing. But Charlie still has Sunder, still has Cheese. He's clicking away. They're going to find this kill on the Slark. There's a buyback immediately from him as well. They want to get this last set of racks, though. They find the immediate disarm on the back lines. They are going to be able to get to find the leash out onto Pangolier. He does have roll available if they want to turn this bad boy around. Triple silenced up, though. Charlie, not afraid, starts the BKB TP. He doesn't want to be here anymore because they got everything, but it looks like they're going to... It looks like they're not done. No, never mind. They're done. They're going to start the BKB TPs out. There's no basher on Draco. Looks like they'll find at least one kill here. And it's just going to be Saberlight with his ×7. Chicken Fighters. I mean, everything is completely open here. The tips are going out to their own team. It's like, why did you feed? You're the only one that died.
Yeah.
What a feeder.
What a feeder. So Pango was the only one who went down. I'm not sure this quite meets the condition of people getting picked off one by one, start getting all these stacks, but he's going to look for something here. You got to make your last-ditch effort at the moment. You aren't going to win this as it gets drawn out. I'm not even sure you're able to defend from mega creeps against this team. So they're hunting for something.
Looks like they do manage to find at least the Winter Wyvern. They do drop the curse, though. The root's still going to be there, so Seneko... Nah, he's good, though. They get the disengage, but looks like they want to go back in it again. Pango buys back. He wants to get this kill. Draco starts the TP. There's no way they can break it because the BKB is still moderately fresh. And Old A, spider legs and everything. They do bash him at the last second with the roll, but they're not going to get anything from this. And they force Saberlight's buyback as well, so... I just think Chicken Fighters are not really afraid of this game anymore. They're playing it at their own pace. They're just having that little bit of fun now with their food.
Mm-hmm. But the last thing you want to do is have too much fun against the Slark, because again, he is able to pick those guys off and then rush a victory if he gets enough essence ship stacks. But I'm not sure it's going to be able to do it here. They pop the BKB. They have Sunder on the Slark. He's just whacking away at things.
Oh, Charlie. Yeah, he's just bursting him away. 2 1,000 crits right after another. They get the GG out from Immersion as Misha drops the ultimate here, and it looks like we're going to go into our next game. Terrorblade coming in, mass amounts of damage, and it's just Chicken Fighters. They ran over the game. Team Spirit, they just didn't have